Hello friends, in this video we will learn about WP Query. I will provide an in-depth walkthrough of WP Query in WordPress. WP Query is used to fetch posts or content from the database and display it on the front end. On the front end, we have home page, blog pages, archive pages, and single post pages. Archive pages can include dates, authors, tags, categories, and even custom taxonomies or custom post types. Based on the URL structure, WP Query is used to fetch the data from database. In this video, we will learn how the WP Query identifies what type of data needs to be fetched from the database based on the URL and the different types of pages. In general, WP Query can be used to query all posts or custom post types. You can also perform a text query or a meta query and pass many other parameters. For all these parameters, like the author parameter, can be used to fetch specific posts or post types based on author name. There are also multiple other parameters, such as the category parameters and tag parameters. You can see the full list of parameters on the right hand side here. All these parameters can be explored in the documentation on developers.wordpress.org under the WP Query references. You can learn about all the available parameters to query the posts. You can go through it, but I won't go through each and every feature in this post because you can easily learn about it in the documentation. However, we will go through some other parts. For example, in my local setup, I have imported some theme unit test data. I have multiple posts here, and this is my home page. On this home page, I have selected to display a list of posts that are on my site. Essentially, this is my blog archive page where I can see a list of posts along with pagination. I can navigate through the pagination as well. If I click on older posts, it will take me to second page, third page, and so on. You can configure this in the WordPress under reading settings. You can either display a particular page or show a list of posts. Now, how does WordPress display these posts? WordPress uses WP Query. Now, let me give you an example by displaying what the WP Query variable looks like. In my local setup, inside the WP content directory, I have created a folder MU plugins. Inside that, I have created a file WP Query. MU plugins, also known as must-use plugins, are plugins in the WordPress that will automatically be loaded by the WordPress, and there is no need to activate or deactivate them manually. I'm using it here just for demo purposes. There is no other use for wpquery.php file in this demo. Firstly, I will use the add action method, and inside that I have passed the template redirect hook. The template redirect action in WordPress is used to perform redirection based on pages. If you want to redirect from an old page to a new page, you can use the template redirect action. This action is triggered before any template from active theme is loaded. I'm using this action to display a demo of WP Query. What I have done is define the global WP Query object. This is the object of the WP Query class that is created by WordPress, and it's globally available. When the main query is executed by WordPress, it contains the data fetched from the database on various pages, like home page or single post page. We will see how it works. For now, I will simply echo the WP Query variable and add a die statement at the end. When you refresh the page, you can see the WP Query object. Let me zoom in. In the WP Query object, this is the query words that was set by the rewrite API. We will learn about this in another video, but these are the query words that are set by that API. We can also pass other arguments, and based on those arguments, WordPress will identify what data it needs to fetch from the database. There can be text queries, meta queries, and many more. Currently, these are empty. You can also see the request property. And in this request property, there is a MySQL query. This MySQL query is constructed based on the query words arguments passed, and it constructs this SQL query that will be executed. Whatever data is fetched will be available in the posts property. And in this WP post object, you will be able to see the post ID. This is how WP Query fetches data from databases. There are multiple other properties as well, If we go down at the bottom, there is the comment count. There is the current comments, which are other properties of WP query. These are also very helpful. Another one of these properties is found posts. It indicates the number of published posts available by default. On the blog archive page, WordPress displays only the default post type. You can see 50 posts here. Now we also have is single. These are used in conditional tags. And based on the conditional tags, a user can perform conditional actions such as loading separate template for a single post type. So if there is a single template named single.php available in your theme, it will use it to determine whether it's a single post and display something specific. If there is a single custom post type page and you want to load a separate or different template, you can do that as well using these. These tags help you determine which page is currently being used, whether it's a home page, a blog page, a single post page, an author archive page, a category archive page, or many others. There are many conditional checks that you can apply, such as whether it's an attachment page or if it's a singular page, and many more. And these are the properties that you should be aware of when using conditional tags. Let me provide you with an example. Temporarily comment these out. Now when we load this page, I'll be able to see, I'll click on this post and this will open this posts page. Now I'll go and uncomment this and reload again to see its WP query. Based on the URL structure or the permalink structure, WordPress identifies the queries and sets the query words. This is the name of this post, and if you look at the request property here, you will see that the SQL query where the post name is set to block image. WordPress fetches this post and sets it in the post property object. Scrolling down to the bottom, you will see that isSingle is set to true because it's a single post page. There is a conditional tag method called isSingle. So let me add those checks here. I will check if it's isSingle using the isSingle method. If yes, then I want to display the WP query or object, otherwise not. I'll pass this code here, and then when I reload this page, it will display the WP query object. So it will check isSingle method with the current post. Let me go through the WP query class and find isSingle. I'll go to WP query class and search for isSingle. It will first check if isSingle is set to true. If not, then it will return false. Otherwise, it will check for the post, set the post, and return. IsSingle will work for all the posts that are single and all custom post types. But if you want to check whether the current page is a specific custom post type page or not, you can use the isSingular and pass. It will still work because the current single post is a post and display the WP query. But if you remember from the previous video, we registered a movie custom post type. So if I use isSingular movie, it won't print this WP query object because the current page is a single post page. It's not a movie post page. This is the difference between isSingle and isSingular. If you want to check whether the current page is a single post page, regardless of custom post type, you would use isSingle. But if you want to check whether the single post page is about a custom post type or any other post, then you can use isSingular. There are also many other functions and we will go through them. So let me just remove this for now. I will temporarily comment out this code as well. For example, this is the block button. If I click here, this is a category block archive page. Let's see what its WP query looks like. You can see that the category name is set to block because it's set from the URL structure category/block. Based on this category name, WordPress will also set its category ID here. Because this category exists and its category ID is 11, based on this parameter, WordPress will construct the SQL query. Now let's look at the actual SQL query. You can see it performs a join query between WP posts and WP term relationship tables, fetching the latest 10 posts from the block category. Based on these results, it will set the post property, where you can see an array of posts. Now, let me scroll down all the way to the bottom. IsArchive is set to 1 because the current page is an archive page. isArchive works similarly to isSingle, while isSingle works for all the single pages of all custom post types. isArchive works for all archive pages, whether it's a category archive page, a tag archive page, or even archive pages based on date, time, year, or any other custom post types or custom taxonomies. Another one is the is category. This function checks if the current page is a category archive page or not. It will return true when you are a category archive page. So if you call is archive or is category function, it will return true. Based on that, you can perform conditional checks, and we have already performed conditional checks for is single and is singular. Similarly, for all archive pages, WordPress will set different parameters, properties which can be used by conditional tags in the themes. This allows you to conditionally load different templates, and that's how these things are managed. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Jai WordPress.